Right, now, let's get more on this big news that FA Cup replays are going to be scrapped from next season. This decision has been met with lots of opposition, especially from EFL clubs.
Yeah, we can speak live now to the Lincoln CEO and the head of the Football League's charity arm, the EFL Trust. That's Liam Scully. Liam, thanks for joining us this morning on Sky Sports News. Several EFL clubs have publicly criticised this decision. What would you say Lincoln's position is just now?
Yeah, in terms of Lincoln City, we're huge believers in the football ecosystem, the special nature of the FA Cup. So, to be met with the news by way of press release yesterday was extremely disappointing. I think we're bemused, confused, and quite frankly shocked about how this has come about.
Oh, Liam, I was going to say to you, how did you find out? But like you say, it was just the press release. There, no consultation beforehand or anything.
No, we have been talking previously when with colleagues within the EFL and other stakeholders about looking at the calendar and the competition framework. It's an asset held by football, and we're very respectful that this is an ecosystem, as we say, and we've got to understand how all the parts join together. But at no point has there been any conversations or consultations with Lincoln City or EFL clubs directly, to my knowledge, where we're actually looking at the specifics of this, without moving other pieces of the jigsaw as well. So, yeah, incredibly disappointing to receive the news how we did.
Liam, you say you're incredibly disappointed by this. Some have described this as a power grab. Are you aware of any kind of planned response by the EFL?
Yeah, I think, well, first and foremost, as clubs, if I just judge the sheer level of the WhatsApp chat and various of the conversations yesterday, it's clear to see the widespread dismay. I think behind the scenes, we're certainly looking at our options. And again, clubs working with our colleagues at the EFL and working within the structure and the framework that we have for governance. I certainly think there will be a proposed response. But I think at this moment in time, it's very much collecting our thoughts, and then we'll work through the appropriate systems and structures, as we always do, in order to provide that response.
Liam, how do you think that the removal of replays is going to impact EFL clubs potentially financially?
Yeah, I think first and foremost, we haven't got to talk about this just selfishly as EFL clubs. I think we've got to think about the wider football ecosystem. Lincoln City Football Club in 2017, this started this fantastic journey. And one of those great nights and one of those great memories was Nathan Arnold scoring the 91st minute winner, in a third round replay. Fast forward a number of years, and that, Lincoln City versus Ipswich was a League One competitive fixture. And, our journey to be the first club to reach the quarterfinals of the FA Cup post-war as a non-league team was powered by a lot of those journeys and those memories. And, that third round replay against Ipswich not only was financially very important to Lincoln City, but then there have been other games as well. And, as a quick anecdote, we built our training ground on the back of that cup run. And, the impact that it's had for our football club and many others is incredibly important. And I think that's, potentially what we are missing and losing out on with the scrapping of replays and any other changes to the competition format.
Liam, let's fast forward to next season's FA Cup. Lincoln are in the FA Cup third round draw, and you draw Manchester United, for example, at home. Would you want there to be an opportunity perhaps for conversation with United, with the football authorities, to perhaps reverse that fixture so that Lincoln do get that, in inverted commas, payday by going to Old Trafford instead of playing that game at home?
Yeah, I think, look, that's a very interesting point and a really interesting discussion to be had. And I think first and foremost, we've got to look at, the appropriate methods and the ways to have those conversations. And I think this is what this is about. It's about appropriate level of dialogue, consultation, discussion. In terms of that one, I can give you a personal opinion, but I think us suits that work in offices, we sometimes meddle too much with the game, and we should leave it to be as pure as it can possibly be. So, personally, I wouldn't be in favour of that. But ultimately, I respect that, it's not a Lincoln City league. There are other things at play, and custodians of different football clubs have to make decisions what's best for them at that moment in time. But I think fundamentally the point that you make is an interesting one, and whether we agree or disagree, I think it's about the opportunity to voice those concerns, comments, preferences, whatever it may be, that seems to be gravely missing from this decision.
Liam, do you think this decision devalues the stature of the FA Cup?
Yeah, I clearly, that's what it's doing. It's changing its place within the hierarchy of the football calendar. I think to be balanced and see the retention of the Saturday fixtures and the placing of the final. There are some positives to this. So accepting that this isn't all bad. But again, I think the FA Cup is so special. And as a small boy, my favourite memory is on the Kop at Bramall Lane, watching Wayne Quinn score a quarter-final replay penalty against Steve Grizovic. And they were the moments that I fell in love with the game. And maybe the thing that's going to cost us the most is we're taking away memories to be had, or lost memories from little boys and girls up and down the country that's no longer going to factor and be part of this. And I think that's the saddest thing as part of this decision.
Liam, with these new proposals coming in, it will mean the removal of this staggered winter break that the Premier League clubs currently have. Is there a fear if and when you were to get Premier League opposition in the FA Cup that they may decide to field maybe a weakened lineup compared to what they might have done had that winter break still been in existence?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think these are the unintended consequences that we have to consider that happen as part of this. The FA Cup is important to Lincoln City, as it is all lower league football clubs and non-league football clubs. And, the opportunity to, put your wits against the very best in the game, potentially could be taken away from us given decisions such as this. So I think, again, it's the full ramifications and the 360 of this decision that we need to be aware of. And I think that's a very key point, and I think you're right. I think we could very much expect to see that.
Yeah, I think the debate is going to rumble on. Liam, thanks for your time this morning.
Thanks, Liam.
Pleasure.
Yeah, very interesting thoughts there, wasn't it? And great to hear another team from the EFL come out and speak publicly about this ongoing situation. We are going to be hearing the thoughts of managers on these FA Cup changes throughout the day, later on Total Football from 10.
But Southampton boss Russell Martin has spoken out this morning on the decision, branding the decision as naive and not fair.
I don't know, who made that final decision, but I think it would have been a sensible thing to ask every single club that is including that competition what they feel and what they think. I'm pretty sure, and I might be wrong, the 20 clubs in the Premier League would have been asked. But honestly, British football, English football can't. What makes it special is the pyramid and how many people have an opportunity to play professionally, and the structure behind the Premier League and the Championship. You look at all the players that have ended up playing for England recently, they've come through lower league academies, and it's really special and unique. It makes English football really special and unique. So to keep thinking you can forget about the guys right at the very bottom and just not worry about them, not concern yourself about them, is really naive and short term, I think, and also not fair. So it goes with the TV money, goes with the FA Cup, goes with competitions, goes with player development, all that stuff. You have to be really, really careful if you just want to then focus on preserving and protecting yourself and your money at the very top of that chain, because things can change very, very quickly in football.